Time for some transfer talk now with Shaka Hislop. And Shaq, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang didn't leave London on the best of terms when he went to Barcelona from Arsenal. Is it a gamble, Chelsea being linked with him? He's a great player. Thomas Tuchel knows him very well. But would the way that he left Arsenal maybe be a bit of a red flag for Chelsea, or should it be?
It should be, just given the nature of his exit. But I thought he played well in the second half of the season for Barcelona. I thought what you'd seen from Aubameyang is something you hadn't seen him doing in an Arsenal shirt for quite some time. And let's be honest, as much as it may be a gamble, I think it's one that Chelsea need to take. Chelsea do not have the firepower, in my opinion, that will see them threaten the top two, and in all honesty, are in danger of dropping out of the top four if they don't get goals. As much as you get rid of two strikers, two misfiring strikers, you need to bring somebody in, because I think so many others around them have improved. I don't think you can get away with that lack of goals from your striker, whether we're talking Werner or Lukaku, who's now departed. You can't get away with that lack of goals and still hope to finish in the top three. Not this year, not with the way that Arsenal and Spurs have strengthened.
I was commentating on Atletico Madrid at the weekend. I wasn't sure if there was one Atleti player that hasn't been linked with Manchester United over the past few weeks. Someone else that's been linked is Allan Saint-Maximin from Newcastle, who was lights out against Manchester City. He's hit or a miss, but Manchester United being linked with him. Is that a good fit?
I guess, especially given Manchester United's performance on Monday night against Liverpool, Nelly said on the weekend there. Given the pace that Erik ten Hag wants to employ up front, Saint-Maximin fits that bill. No question at all. The question is, can you get him? Eddie Howe says no. Eddie Howe says don't waste your time. He's got what, 4 years left on a contract, I think I'm right in saying. So there's absolutely no need for Newcastle to budge. Saint-Maximin enjoying his football in the Northeast. No real need for him to push for a move. I just don't see that happening, even though it may be a good fit. It's not going to happen.
What about young Anthony Gordon at Everton? Spurs have been credited with an interest. However, Chelsea's the one right now. Everton don't want to lose him. Frank Lampard would not be happy if he went. What would he add to Chelsea, and where would you play him the way that Chelsea set up if he was to move?
Well, I just spoke about Chelsea needing a striker. So he can play there, or he can come from the wide areas, primarily right on the right-hand side, as a little bit of a balance to Raheem Sterling. So it makes some sense, even though I'm really struggling to make those two ends connect. When I think of Chelsea and their deficiencies, when I think of their need for goals, I don't see Gordon as being the solution, either through the middle or out wide. I can't put those two together.
So money better spent elsewhere for Chelsea on a striker?
So. Yes, I think that's their need.
Everton and strikers and scoring goals, they don't seem to be the best bedfellows right now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin hurt, Richarlison now gone. Shea Adams has a reasonable start to the season at Southampton, the Scotland international. It's just he doesn't play every single week for them. If he has a bad couple of games, then he's replaced. Everton, Shea Adams, match made in heaven, or maybe they could do better?
I think it's a good match. It's a need that Everton need to fill desperately, especially as you mentioned, with Calvert-Lewin now out injured, and given his own injury history over the last couple of seasons, you understand why there's real cause for concern there. Shea Adams coming in, I think, gives them at the very least that cover, gives them goals. I think it'll be a long, hard season for Everton. So maybe that is what Che Adams wants to consider. But you could probably make the same argument for Southampton. But I think that without wanting to make Che Adams' mind up for him, that's a decision only he can. As far as the connection goes, as far as the two working well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
I'm going to end with Newcastle. They seem to be a fair bit down the road with Alexander Isak, but another player that's being linked with them is Jack Harrison at Leeds United. Now, Rodrigo's getting all the headlines because he's scoring goals. Aronson, the Americans, had a super start to the season. Patrick Bamford is hurt right now, but one player who's not really getting many headlines, but he's been an integral part of their start to the season and how well they've done, is Jack Harrison. A move to Newcastle, can you see why they've been linked with the talent?
I do. I think Newcastle have been looking to strengthen on that right-hand side for quite some time. Hugo Almiron coming off a goal-scoring performance against City. It's tough to be critical of him right now. He's played well. He's a favourite of the fans. He certainly is loving life on football in the Northeast. But you can understand Eddie Howe wanting to strengthen and provide competition in that department. It makes an awful lot of sense. But again, it's so much of these transfers is around timing. Given Leeds' own start to the season so far, does Harrison want to push for a move now? Or is it something that you want to sit back and wait on and just figure out, just see how prospects for both clubs pan out? No, I'm very biased and I'm very biased in saying I think Newcastle will have a very good season and over the long term, I think better than Leeds. But if you're Harrison and you're part of what has been an outstanding start to the season, knowing what playing football at Ellen Road can be like, is that something you want to push for right now with a couple of weeks left in the transfer window? As much as it makes sense, and I can see it making sense, I don't think it happens.
So that's today's 5 players in the transfer talk. I just want to end not with someone moving somewhere, but when you're the freedom of the city of Newcastle, did you have to sign something in return for saying I can't criticise the football team now and I think they're going to do great this season because you give me the keys to the city, so I'll give you praise for 12 months? Is that how it worked?
No, I didn't have to sign anything. If that's a question, Mark, not at all. Listen, the truth is, and I've said this before, I think the second half of the season, only Liverpool and City had better records.
No, they were great. Yeah, defensively tightened up as well. Mm-hmm.
So how can you be critical of that in any way? You have to let this team play, and when they give you reason to be critical, then you can. But so far, especially this week, that performance against Manchester City, I can't.
Shaka, I've got a soft spot for Newcastle. When I was in short trousers, I used to go and watch them when I lived in Edinburgh and you were in goal, so I'll have nothing said against them. But that was when I was a lot younger than I am now.
Yeah, you in short trousers is not a sight for anybody's eyes.
No, it's not.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.